Awesome. Welcome, everyone. Happy Sunday. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Today, we're going to have an X39 review with testimonials. And you're going to be so thankful the person that invited you got you on this call. We have two very impressive testimonials. My name is Amy Holmesy, and I'm here with my lovely co-host, Beamy Casey. We are both executive directors with Lifewave. And with that, I'm going to properly introduce Beamy, and we're going to go ahead and jump right in, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to be very excited. Beamy has been into alternative and natural health for over 40 years, folks. Incredible. She was also the co-founder of a energetic healing clinic in Santa Monica, California, as well as she produced an online health and medical series online with top health experts. So this lady knows her stuff, and she's going to go ahead and take it away. So Beamy.
Thank you, Amy. Before we get started, everyone, I'm going to read a medical disclaimer, and that is that we are not doctors or medical professionals, and the information on this call is meant for educational purposes only. And the information and products that we're sharing are not meant to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA, and if you are pregnant or nursing or have any kind of medical condition, please consult your physician before beginning any type of regime. So with that, again, I'd like to welcome everybody here. I'm so excited about today's call. We have incredible testimonials. And our first guest up, his name is Jarod Lowe, and he is coming all the way from Oregon. When I talked to him about his story, I can tell you I was blown away because he has been on a saga, on a journey since 1999 that I don't even know how he's endured this. He's going to share with us what was happening before, how this condition got so exacerbated, and then what has happened with the patches. He has worked in sales and management most of his life, working with the Hertz Corporation and now with Havoc type sales. So Jarod, I'd like to welcome you on, and please give us before, after, and in between of what's happened.
All right. Well, thank you very much for welcoming me today. I'm very glad to share my testimonial, and I hope that, it'll help everyone on the call just to know the benefits of X39 and what they can do. I started using the patch in April of 2020, so about 9 months now. I had a pretty significant knee injury in 1999. That's known in the medical field as the Unholy Triad. So that's your anterior cruciate, your medial collateral ligament, as well as your medial meniscus. And I tore all of them. I had my first knee reconstructive surgery in 2000 and have since had 6 additional reconstructions on top of that. So I've had 7 knee reconstructions between 2000 and 2015. The original surgery was a patellar tendon graft. So they took the center third of my patellar tendon. When they drilled the tunnel to put the new ACL in, they drilled it at the wrong angle. So I was literally severing my ACL with any movement within the hinge joint. They also tried to save as much cartilage as they could with cartilage clips, where they clip it into place and then hope that it works. Because cartilage is so avascular, there's no blood flow for healing. It didn't work. And so not only was I severing the ACL, I was also having large pieces of cartilage pop in and out of my knee, or literally sometimes I'd have to push them back into place. It's been quite a journey with all of the surgeries. So I was a candidate after my last surgery in 2015, a candidate for a total knee replacement. I talked to multiple surgeons, and no surgeons were willing to do the surgery because of my age. So they say that a total knee replacement should last for 15 to 20 years. But that's based on a study, studies conducted of, the average age being 55 when they're put in. So I was told by each surgeon that I spoke to that they anticipated by the time I was in my mid 50s, I would be on my second or third knee, because I would wear it out. Because of my age, I would wear it out, and it would wear out much quicker. The second's not as good as the first, and the third's not as good as the second. And so their concern was I would, be on my third and quality of life and everything else. So for the last 20 years, I've really been living with significant knee pain and inflammation. Significant inflammation where my knee would always be about twice the size of my other knee. So in April of 2020.
Wait, Jarod, I wanted to
Yeah.
ask you, I know that you tried, they were giving you different things like injections and some kind of graft. Can you talk a little bit about what happened there?
Yeah, the graft was the most recent surgery, but the injections were a viscous solution. I don't remember the different byproducts used to create, a more viscous, lubricated, if you will. They tried thermally tightening ligaments. None of it worked, and it just led to more pain and issues. So in April of this year, I stopped by Marie Euler's house, who sponsored me. And anyone that's on the call that knows Marie, when she's really excited, she talks really fast and with her hands. And so I knew whatever she was talking about was significant. And she was telling me that she had just bought these patches, and she had me in mind with my knee, and they were going to help. And what I really heard was stem cell. And so I was like, okay, what do I have to lose? I have everything to gain. So I was getting ready to go on a camping trip with my dad and my two sons. And on the third day of wearing the patch, we were on quads, and I didn't realize that I had an audience, but I jumped off my quad anticipating the pain that I was so accustomed to. And when I landed, I didn't have any pain. And I remember I probably looked like Chubby Checker doing the twist in the middle of the Eastern Oregon desert, not knowing I had an audience. And then I could hear my dad snickering in the background, like, what are you doing? And I was like, Dad, my knee, it doesn't hurt. Like, I don't have any pain. And this was after the third day. So it was really, really significant to know that quickly my knee wasn't bothering me. And so since then to now, my knee feels the best that it has in 20 years. I also suffer from a condition known as idiopathic intracranial hypertension, or pseudotumor, which is basically an elevated spinal fluid level. So your body reacts to it as if it's a brain tumor. It leads to significant migraine headaches. So for the last 10 years, from the time of my diagnosis, every 6 months, I would have a spinal tap to remove excess spinal fluid in order to help me with the headaches. Since I've been on the patch, my headaches are extremely minimal, to say the least. I mean, I lived with a chronic, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say a chronic 4 or 5 in pain level. And now it's 1, usually maybe a 2 at most. So it's absolutely been incredible what it's done. My last spinal tap was in May of last year. And it was the lowest opening pressure that I've had in the last 10 years, with the least amount of spinal fluid removed. So I know that what it's doing is incredible. I've introduced it to my dad, who's got degenerative disc disease. It was to the point with him, and I'll just share this story. He would do a load of laundry, take it out of the dryer, carry it to the couch, and have to get on his hands and knees to fold laundry because the pain was so significant. And within the last probably 4 months, he was out and he was really excited. And it was like, what is going on? He's like, I just did laundry, and I was 3/4 of the way through folding it, and I realized I was bending over. I hadn't gone to my hands and knees. I've given it to my stepdad, who also has significant back problems, and he's noted improvement. I've given it to both of my sons. My oldest is 22, my youngest is 12. With my 12-year-old, he's on the spectrum. It's helped with mood stabilization. He also wears the sleep patch. It's truly been miraculous. So, you know, I'm sold, and I can't believe what it's done. So thanks again for inviting me to share.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Jarod. Such amazing, diverse results, and what life changes this has brought for you. I mean, 20 years of being in pain, and now you barely have any pain, being able to do activities again, which I know you talked about, that your whole life was inhibited because of that knee swelling all the time. It's just miraculous how the quality of your life has changed in not even a year. So I can't wait to get an update soon. Yes. To hear, you know, as you go along. And the spinal fluid situation, I've never even heard of this. So to change that whole, the body's whole way that it's operating so that that's not building up is really quite miraculous. So thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you.
Oh, it just takes my breath away. So now I'd like to bring Amy back, and she's going to introduce her guests. And Amy has been in holistic and healthcare for over 30 years. She's been in this industry for over 25 years, and she's done incredibly well. She's been a six-figure earner. She really knows this industry, and she loves helping people. And that's why she's so successful. She's a mom, she's a grandmom, they call her a Nona. And of course, she's a wife. So welcome, Amy.
Well, thank you, Mimi. Thank you so much. Wow, so happy for Jarod. That's an incredible story. That's why we do this. Love it. So now we're going to have another remarkable testimonial, folks. And I get the honor of introducing a good friend of mine. His name is Dan Gleichowski, and we've known each other for now almost 20 years. And he's just another incredible person with a remarkable story. But just so you know, a little background on Dan. He's been in the medical pharmaceutical world for 30 years, as well as the nutraceutical arena. He's also sold medical devices to doctors. He's called on thousands of doctors in 30 years. But what really got him excited when I said stem cell activation patch, because Dan also used to sell stem cell injections to doctors. And Dan has his own story, and he's a believer. Dan, can you hear me? No, he was on here. Dan?
I can hear you.
Awesome. We can hear you and see you. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How do I follow Jarod?
I know. Amazing, isn't it? Well, Dan, I'm glad you're on here today. And I know you also have a great story. So if you would, just please share with these folks where you were before, what issues you had, how long you've been on the X39, and how you're doing today.
Well, I started with the X39 around June when you introduced it to me. I had already had my nutraceutical line that I was repping. And I guess the best way to explain it, I felt pretty darn good until age 70 hit me. And then all of a sudden, I'm starting to get all these diagnoses. The first one that came through was PMR, which is polymyalgia rheumatica, which is an inflammation of the muscles and joints. It's like a precursor to arthritis under that autoimmune category. And the only thing that mainstream medicine had to offer me was prednisone. That's the drug of choice for PMR. Up at 15 milligrams of prednisone. And of course, you don't want to be on that very long. And it took off, the edge and so forth. But then when you introduced me to the patch, of course, after selling stem cell, I sort of knew it. I knew what it was. And I was trying to figure out what this little patch that I'm wearing right here is going to do for me. So what did I do? As I went and I started to do some research on GHK copper peptide. And I have the article right here in front of me from the International Journal of Molecular Sciences, because the other issue that I had, I was diagnosed with hemochromatosis. And for those of you that don't know what hemochromatosis is, it's where your body is not utilizing your iron sufficiently, which can cause major issues. Because if it's not being utilized properly, it'll store in your liver, kidney, lung, heart. So you have to get that under control. And how they found out is my ferritin level was in the 900 to 1,000 range. And it's supposed to be down around 200-300. And so the only, again, for mainstream medicine, the only thing they can do is phlebotomy to get the ferritin level down to normal. So at the PMR, the only thing was prednisone. For the hemochromatosis, the only thing was phlebotomy. So I went and I had one phlebotomy, and then that's when I started to patch. And when I started to patch, of course, I had to go every 3 months to the doctor, and I had to go every month to have the phlebotomy. But when I went back for my second phlebotomy, they looked at my numbers and they said, wait a second, I don't think we need to do. So they went to the doctor and asked the doctor, and the doctor said, no, it's back to normal. And of course, everybody in the office was scratching their head. How did it go back to normal with just one phlebotomy? And very interesting. Of course, blood work doesn't lie. And then when I looked at this article and I read this article, and it says reduction of iron release from ferritin by 87%. So it was like a confirmation. And of course, when I did the blood work and my ferritin levels are back to normal, of course, blood work doesn't lie. And the doctors were all scratching their heads. So the last appointment I had with my hematologist, I said to her, because she looked at my blood work and she says, it's fantastic. What are you doing? And I told her, well, first of all, for my PMR, I'm down to 2 milligrams of prednisone, down from 15. And she said, well, that's great, but your ferritin level is back to normal. And I said, have you ever heard of stem cells? She said, of course. I said, have you ever heard of a stem cell activation patch? And she said, no. And I said, well, I am attributing a lot of that to this patch. And her response back to me was, keep doing what you're doing because your blood work is perfect. And us doctors, we don't know everything. So you can only guess the next time I talk to her and see her, we're going to have a longer discussion about the stem cell patch for sure. But it's had a pretty dramatic effect medically in me with both the hemochromatosis and the PMR. And my wife was having a lot of difficulty sleeping for the past 2 years. And ever since she's on the X39, she's sleeping like a baby. And there are so many testimonials. Another friend of mine that I introduced it to, and I don't know if she's on the call, but her husband said that she had scoliosis real bad. She went to her chiropractor after being on the patch for 2 months. And the chiropractor said to her, wow, your improvement is unbelievable. And then she shared with me that she's had Crohn's disease for 30 years. 30 years, been on every medicine she can imagine. And now she said to me the other day, she said, my gut is perfect. She said, I think my Crohn's is gone. So it just goes on and on. I could probably share more, but what the patch is doing is pretty remarkable for sure.
Absolutely. And I know you gave your testimonial about 8 weeks ago, so we love doing these updates. So now you've had 2 lab reports since you've been on the
Right.
X39, and the last one was better than the first one, correct?
Correct. Yes.
And
Yep.
I know you you had pain with your PMR, and what was it on a scale of 1 to 10 prior to starting the X39, your pain level?
I would say, of course, the prednisone was sort of helping that pain level.
Right.
But whenever I started to titrate down, the pain started to come back prior to the patch. But I would say before, without anything, it was probably in the 7, 8 range, 9.
Mhm.
But now with the patch, 1 or 2,
Wow.
you know. So it definitely has had a major impact in that area also.
Well, I know you also play golf, and we've heard a lot of stories with the X39 and athletes and playing golf. So I know you're able to play that more often now.
Yeah, before, I mean, I couldn't even grip a club.
Mm.
And the other thing is energy level. At 74 years old, I have all the energy that you can imagine.
Mhm.
So that is working well also. So anybody's on the patch, as a matter of fact, that young lady that had the Crohn's, her husband is in the construction business, and she said he's always tired. So she said I slapped a patch on him, and he's got more energy. He knows what to do with now. So it's great. It's great.
So, well, thank you so much. I'm so happy for you. And I know Peg with her sleeping much better. And now you're sharing this and helping others. And honestly, Dan, that's what this is all about. We know we have something that no one else has, and we're helping and sharing. So thank you so much for the update.
Well, one other thing that I started about 2 weeks ago, not only the X39, which I'm putting here, the carnosine that
Mhm.
I'm, because I want to bring down a little bit more inflammation. Everything, all these issues are all based on inflammation. And
Yes.
so if we can get that
Yes.
inflammation down and under control, as evidenced by the fact that I don't have to take the prednisone anymore.
That's remarkable. It's remarkable.
Yeah. Yep.
Awesome. Incredible testimonial. Thank you so much. And with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Beanie. She's going to show you and tell you what exactly is in this product and how it works.
Amy, before you go, thank you for introducing the patch to me, because I was a little skeptical in the beginning, as you well know.
Yes.
My research, and once I could understand what GHK copper peptide was and the whole theory behind it and its photomodulation, and that is the medical device that I sold before the patch, was the photomodulation, where they actually introduce ultraviolet light directly into the bloodstream through a 20 gauge catheter. Now you can imagine that this, putting a patch on rather than going and paying $150 to have a 20 gauge catheter inserted, people rather put the patch on.
I would think so. Sounds painful.
Accomplishing the same thing. It's all about.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for that insight and information. I appreciate it. Beanie, why don't you share with everyone about the patch and how it works?
Okay. Oh my goodness, such great testimonials. Dan and Jarod, thank you so much for sharing. It's like hearing miracle after miracle. So folks, what do we have here? We have a patch that looks like this. It's wafer thin, it's wearable, and it is patented. This technology was developed by David Schmidt. He is our CEO and visionary and founder of this company. And 10 years ago, he really understood the future of regenerative medicine, which is his baby. That's really what his studies focus a lot on. He has over 70 patents in that area. Excuse me. And so he began researching, and 10 years later, millions of dollars, he developed the X39. And it comes like this in a sleeve with 30 patches, which is a month's supply. And what is in this, this little patch here? Well, there's no ingredients, and it's non-transdermal. What is in this are nanocrystals of amino acids, water, and salts. And when you put it on the skin, which we apply it 12 hours on and 12 hours off, what happens is that the light and the infrared light from your body activate these crystals, and they're trapped and they go back into the skin. The signals go back in, and it turns on what Dan referred to is the GHK copper peptide. And this peptide, again, has so many benefits. You can Google it. And what it does in our patch is that it starts to reset over 4,000 genes. It also sends signals to the body to start making younger stem cells, which we call pluripotent. And it also starts to repair our DNA. GHK is called the master signaling molecule because it's able to turn the body back on. This whole process is called phototherapy. This is when the light works together with the nanocrystals and it creates a metabolical change in the cell. As a matter of fact, the New England Journal of Medicine has stated that the #1 indicator of wellness is directly correlated to the number of stem cells in the bloodstream. So with this patch, wearing this every day, you are stimulating the body to make its own younger, intelligent stem cells. And why is this important? Because guess what? After the age of 35, we start losing our ability to make stem cells. It's about half at that age. And when we reach 60, it's pretty much non-existent. So both the GHK and the stem cells start to diminish. So what we have here is a double whammy when we're wearing this patch. We're sending communication into the cells. And when we do that, they have the information so that the body can start to heal. The patches don't heal. It stimulates the body to heal. And another reason this is important, because every day we're losing 50 to 70 billion cells that are dysfunctional or wear out or that are old. And these are replenished. And when they're able to replenish with younger stem cells, not the old ones that are in there and that are aging. So we are actually going into what we call age reversal. And with this, all these diversity of benefits start showing up. We hear these testimonials every day because people's bodies are degenerating. As you get older, it's natural. But this process of organ repair, of tissue repair, is what stem cells are known for. And you don't have to get a shot. You don't have to travel and spend a lot of money. It's very simple to put the patch on every day, take it off, drink a lot of water. That stimulates the process. So you're probably wondering, how do I get this? How can I find out more about to get involved with it? So I'm going to invite Amy back on to talk to us about that.
Thank you, Mimi. What an awesome explanation, folks. What we're talking about here is our company, Lifewave. It's a 17-year-old established company. And I want you to put your business hats on, okay? And when I looked at this, we actually have something for everyone. Think about it from a customer perspective as well as a business perspective. And if you're looking at it from a business, please put that business hat on, and here's why. We have a product with a 20-year patent that's innovative and no one else has it. No one else has it, folks, okay? It's non-invasive, non-transdermal. We are in 80 countries. We're a 17-year-old established company. So within 5 minutes, you can actually be part of a business that's international, all right? We are projected to do over 200 million in sales this year, all right? Sales this year. Now, we have something for everyone. You could be a customer. Why wouldn't you want to be with these testimonials you just heard? So you have nothing to lose, folks. So be a customer and save money. We have a great customer referral program, preferred customer program, where you can get it for wholesale. Why buy retail? We want to sell it for wholesale. $3 a day, folks, and you could try this technology. And we have a great sampling program with the preferred customer program. Or you could jump in like I did and become a distributor. So as a customer, you save money. And as a representative, you not only save money, but folks, now you can make money. And we have different packages. So they start at $299 and go all the way up to $1,600. Now, I will tell you, the higher the package, the better value it is. You're saving money. All right. So what you want to do is actually get back to the person who got you on this call, but think about that. We have an established company, 17-year-old company, projected to do 200 million in sales this year, but we have a hot, new, sexy product that's only been out for 2 years to activate, rejuvenate your stem cells. So that's like the best of both worlds for me. It's like an established company as well as a startup. So it's exciting. But get back to the person who got you on this call, and I want to leave you with one thought. Your health is an investment, folks. Your health is an investment. You need to invest in it today, or you will pay for it later. Okay. And with that, I want to also invite you back tomorrow night, Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern. We're going to do this again with some more testimonials with Peter and Marcy, our senior presidential directors. Thank you so much. Get back to the person who got you on this call, folks. Have a great Sunday.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Jarod.
Wow, thank you,
Jared,
everyone.
Dan.
Wow, amazing testimonials today.
No answer to the question.
Thank you,
Wow.
Amy. Thank you, Dimi.